Hello, everyone. So we are live here right now with Sign and Seal with Samantha. My name is LaShawn Jenkins with the Notary Institution. I coach and mentor notary signing agents on how they can have a very successful notary signing agent business. And today's video, I'm actually really excited, especially for my Georgia notaries. We are going to provide some guidelines and some guidance on how you can actually do these loan closings successfully in an attorney state. And I'm going to turn over to my partner, Samantha, from She Listens Mobile Notary Services.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Samantha Smith, and I'm the owner of She Listens Notary and Business Services in Southeast Georgia. And it is our pleasure to be able to bring this series, our live Q&A series, to you, signed and sealed with LaShawn and Samantha. So here over the last few months, we've been getting a lot of questions about notary activity in attorney states. We understand there are a lot of limitations, there are a lot of laws, and some of the laws can be a little bit muddy as far as the interpretation, just to make sure that we stay legal, but that we're also successful in our notary signing businesses. So we have the distinct pleasure to have as our first guest for Sign and Sealed, Miss Zainab Brown of Major Brown Law, LLC in Atlanta, Georgia. We are so excited to have you with us on this morning.
Greetings, everyone.
Yes, please take a moment to introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Zainab Brown. I am an attorney in Georgia. Major Brown Law is the name of the law firm. We practice probate and real estate law, as well as personal injury and estate planning. I'm pleased to be with you today just to offer some information. It's an honor and a privilege. So we want to start with those questions that we talked about, just to hit those topics.
Yes, ma'am. So,
Okay, so go ahead.
Oh, no, you can go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, the first question I have here is how are our loan signings handled in Georgia? And so, the law in Georgia requires that an attorney conduct real estate closings. Part of the closing process is the signing of those loans. The law does leave a little room where it says that a non-attorney, which includes everybody else, may work, but only under the close. So one guidance says close and another guidance says continuous supervision of an attorney. That is what the law states. So on the other side of it, you have the ethics. The Georgia Bar provides attorneys with ethics rules that we must comply with. And if there's any doubt or concern about whether you're in compliance, as an attorney, you want to stay in compliance. You don't even want that question or cloud of concern to arise. So the loan signings have to be handled by an attorney in Georgia. One of the very important things about law in Georgia is that Georgia is what's known as a non-judicial foreclosure state. So at the signing, the customers, which are the people who are borrowing the money, sign what's known as a waiver of borrower's rights. They're actually waiving their constitutional rights to a hearing before losing property. That requires an attorney to explain that waiver to them and then have it constitute a knowing waiver of that right. In addition, the law requires the closing attorney to sign an affidavit swearing that they were the attorney present at the signing and that they did explain to the customer that waiver of borrower's rights. So should I go ahead and proceed? Did you have any questions about that, or should I proceed to the next question?
Yeah, so you said something about a non what was the word that you had said?
Non-attorneys?
No, you said non-judicial state or
Oh,
something.
non-judicial foreclosure, right.
What exactly is that? What does that mean
So
to a notary?
non-judicial foreclosure means that so in accordance with the terms of whatever the note of the loan says, when that note goes into default, which is usually after 30 days of non-payment, the note is considered in default. The lender at that time, and it provides for all of that in the note, that the lender at that time has to notify borrower in writing that the loan is now in default. And if that default continues for 90 days, in 3 months, then the lender proceeds to take that written notice and publish it in the local that county's legal notices section of the newspaper, telling the whole world that they intend to foreclose.
Okay.
Once that publication has gone on for 4 weeks, the lender can actually foreclose. There's no hearing in Georgia. That's what non-judicial foreclosure means.
Okay. Okay, so let me ask you. So if a notary was looking for the laws, where exactly will they go to find those laws at?
The official code of Georgia, annotated, and it's published in many places. Justia has a free resource.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. So a lot of notaries, a lot of times they are confused about the laws, just because the laws do vary from state to state. And each state, we have their own set of laws on how loan closings can be conducted. So if a notary is challenged by the law, especially if a signing company challenge them about the law and during the signings, how should a notary handle that situation?
So really, and so my advice is to avoid that. You don't ever want to be in the position where you're having to explain under what authority you're conducting the signing. That means you should be under the close supervision of an attorney. An
Okay.
attorney should already have taken care of that for you. If you're finding yourself in the position where you're having to explain it, get out of that position.
I
Protect,
agree with
yeah,
that.
protect your commission.
Right,
Yeah.
protect your commission. So I want to go jump in the comments because we have some people who, I don't want to ignore nobody and I want everybody questions to at least get answered. So I'm not sure you'll be able to answer this, but good morning, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to do this. Would this information be useful for someone living in Massachusetts?
Good question.
The thing is, we have to know is Massachusetts is an attorney state. And as with everything that you do, you always want to check with your notary state laws. If you
We
want to
would
know.
also ask too, the individual that's living in Massachusetts, have they referred to or purchased their state notary handbook? Because each notary, each state is going to have its own handbook and are going to have laws that apply directly to your specific activities in your state.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and let me ask you. I know Soph Butler. She asks, why do the laws vary from state to state? Ms. Brown, do you have an answer, or I can answer that too, though a little bit.
Go ahead.
But my reasoning is because each state has different laws on how they conduct real estate transactions. For example, in the state of Texas, we have home equity line of the HELOCs, the home equity line of credits. All those closings have to be done in some type of title office or attorney office. Some other states don't do that. So it just depending on the state laws as far as real estate that determines how the closings are conducted.
Mm-hmm.
And
I agree.
yes, I'm not an attorney, but Some things I
That
just
that's
don't
just
know.
yeah, that's just knowledge of civics and the
Mhm.
Constitution.
Right.
Constitution leaves rights to the state
Okay. So
that
here's
are not.
okay. So we have Tracy. She said, in Georgia, can an attorney be on the phone during a closing, and this satisfies the law?
It will depend on the nature of your relationship with that attorney being on the phone. Now in Georgia, we have because of the COVID pandemic, the governor has signed an executive order allowing real-time video.
Mhm.
So for me, if I'm on the phone, I might as well be on the video. And now I'm at the signing,
Right.
which is exactly what the law requires. But by me simply being on the call and not having directly supervised that non-attorney, it may not satisfy the
That
rule.
sounds a little risky, though. To be
It
honest,
does.
that don't even
Exactly.
that don't fit right
And
with my spirit.
right. And that's what I would want to do exactly. Avoid anything that does not instantly tell you yes.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
There are
And
lots of attorneys situations out there for you.
okay. So this is a big question. So how can a notary successfully and legally participate in loan signings?
In Georgia, through an attorney.
Yes, through an attorney. That's the best way.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. So this pretty much answers this question. If you are in Georgia and attorney state, can you do loan closings if you're working with the attorney? Yes.
Mhm. I
Right.
think one
And
thing too.
and that working with and the rule says closely supervised, constantly supervised by an attorney.
I think one thing too we have to remember as notaries, and something that I've learned, is that we don't do closings. I have been taught through my own training that we are there to serve as the notary. We are gathering signatures, we are verifying identity, and we are preventing fraud. We are not doing the closing. So, like you said before, Attorney Brown, if you find yourself in a position where you are participating in a closing and there is no one there as a legal representative, a lawyer, there to explain documents, you might be in hot water because that is not your function as a notary. You are there serving as the notary of record for identity fraud prevention, and that's something we have to remember as well.
Okay. Um, Sam, is there a way that you can pull up those questions that you had sent me last night?
Oh, let's
So
see.
one of the other questions that was presented was, Attorney Brown, from your perspective, how can a loan signing agent help you build your business? How can they
Oh my
serve
goodness.
you?
So the loan signing agent, when we still have the closing attorney's affidavit. That's a document that the attorney has to sign in the presence of another notary.
Mhm.
And that's constant for every closing. There's a need for that. Uh, there's the chain of custody now because the signing is taking place with the video line of sight, live time, real time. But the documents, once they're signed, we'd still like to check that chain of custody, and so it may be that a signing agent or a agent, not necessarily signing agent, would be able to take that signed package and deliver it
Mhm.
because Georgia still requires wet signatures. So we still have to do wet stamping and signing once we've
Mhm.
seen the customer sign it.
Mhm.
Let's see what else. It seems like I made myself some notes on that particular issue. So chain of custody, closing attorney's affidavit, the document package itself. Sometimes the lenders just don't have the package, or at the very last minute, there's something that needs to be changed. And so helping and getting from uh, one closing now to another closing and having the documents there when the attorney arrives. So that's another way that you can help. And of course, the unofficial witness. So there's always, Georgia requires an unofficial witness to be present at the signing.
Okay.
Okay. So I have a question. So, well, maybe you can help clarify this. So she said, just to be clear, we're speaking as to GA properties. Example, we do not need an attorney if we're doing a signing for a property that is a non-attorney state.
I'm speaking about Georgia properties.
Okay, well, I guess what she's asking is, for example, a signing company calls a Georgia notary, and when they call that Georgia notary, is to do a loan closing, but that property is, say it's in New York, right? That notary may feel like they can do that loan closing because it is not a Georgia property. So she's asking, is she still able to do that signing?
What I would do is establish a contact in that state with an attorney. Just ask. That's a very, and you may even be able to Google it and find that answer for that particular state. It's easy enough to find it in Georgia. If you Google Georgia loan closings, who can do it? It will, every answer will say an attorney, an attorney, an attorney. So for that state, what I would do if I were in that position is Google it, find it, and then follow it up with a phone call to that reference.
Okay.
Just to be sure.
Okay. Sam?
Yes. So, Ms. Brown, we have another question that has come up, and it says, as a loan signing agent, notary public, who do you suggest we network with to grow our businesses? And you kind of just alluded to that with the previous question, but if you could maybe expound on that a little bit more.
I think law firms. Let's see. Other signing agents. I could say maybe real estate agents. Real estate agents have a really broad network. It wouldn't hurt.
So
Okay.
if a notary was, wanted to work with you, what are you looking for in a notary if they wanted to do business with you?
Oh, that's a good question.
Like if I walked into your office right now and I was like,
Mm,
hey, my name is LaShawn Jenkins. I'm a Georgia State notary. I have this to offer you. How can I help you? What would you want in me?
we would actually spend some time working together, maybe perhaps doing what I would consider inter-office training to just and during that process it would give me an idea of your style of work, work ethic, because generally I need the same thing that everyone needs. You need someone who's trustworthy, reliable, dependable, consistent, and I'm not saying hardworking is just sounds like uh, just such a term that people throw out, but you want someone who the same day that when you walked in and said, I need some work, 365 days from the time that you started that work to still want to do the work and not
Okay.
so less enthusiastic about it.
So you're the one, I guess you rather build a relationship with the notary instead of, because sometimes what notaries do, they just call on the phone and say, hey, I have work. I want to work with you. And that's it. But they really, not many notaries will want to build a relationship.
Yeah.
With you, and you're more so your relationship. You want to build a relationship. You want to get to know them and see how they work instead of just, Okay.
Right, right. Most attorneys have their paralegals as notaries.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, is because this person is going to have access to some confidential information. So it can't be just more transactional. It has to be ongoing
Mm-hmm.
relationship.
Okay. Sam?
What about after hours work, Attorney Brown? You said most attorneys have their paralegals as notaries, but I know that there are times that come up where you have to have documents notarized after hours. Would you be
Mhm.
willing to contract with notaries at that point?
Oh, sure. For the purpose of a notary, well,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
When a notary is needed, they are needed, and
Oh yeah.
you will accept the notary service from whoever's available.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever's available, right.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So how do you feel about the notion of when it comes to notarial training? So some of the information that we come across says that because we are in a notary state, excuse me, in an attorney state, that we are not to conduct any business that that connects us to being loan signing agents because we are not allowed to perform the duties of a loan signing agent. But when you are looking for a notary, would you rather that notary have the distinction of an LSA, or would you, or do you have a preference at all?
Not for the closing notary's affidavit, and that's really the main document that I would be looking for a notary for, is to witness me sign that affidavit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one document. It is a lot easier if that notary has experience with that document, is familiar with it, and understands what it is. Because
Uh-huh.
sometimes it's a paragraph in between two other sections that have already been signed and witnessed and notarized. And a notary may look at it and withdraw and feel uncomfortable signing it. So it's definitely better if that person has that type of designation.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay. So, Samantha, do you have any more questions for Ms. Brown?
Um, no, one of the main questions that comes across, I guess, in my day to day working with different notaries is, can we successfully and legally do the loan closings? And I think um, this conversation has pretty much told us at the end of the day, we've got to make those connections with the attorneys in our area, across the state, and even between the states, which is going to be very, very important to not compromise our commission.
Right.
Is there anything, Ms. Brown, that you'd like to just share to encourage notaries, maybe even share your contact information, being in the Atlanta area, where notaries might be able to reach out to you?
Sure. And my contact information is the law firm name, majorbrownlaw.com. And email is zmbrown@majorbrownlaw.com. Phone 678-761-0154.
Okay. Well, I want to post that in the comments today for you so
Okay.
that everyone can have it because I know how, people can be. But Ms. Brown, to be honest with you, I want to say thank you for the information that you shared for all the Georgia State notaries and also just notaries in general. I'm happy that you took time out your day today to actually come on here and share this information with us.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you.
You're welcome. And me and Sam, we know we don't need you no more for right now. Me and Sam are going to answer some of these questions that really are not for you. That's kind of for us. But thank you so much.
My
Thank you, Ms.
pleasure.
Brown. Thank
All
you.
right. Bye bye. Okay, guys. So we're gonna hop into the comments because I see there's a lot of questions that a little bit are more specific to me and Sam that we can answer. So Sam, I'm gonna post them in on the screen, and if you can answer it, you answer it. If I can answer it, I answer it, and we're gonna answer these questions.
It says, question, I'm a notary in New Jersey. Should I purchase insurance to protect myself? The same way you would purchase insurance to protect your family, your home, your vehicles, I think it's important to protect to purchase the insurance to protect your notary business and your notary services. So yes, please get you some insurance.
Now, I don't think this person is on anymore, but they did access, and you're in the state of Georgia. You're a living testimony, so I know you can answer this.
I'm in the process of pursuing certification for loan signing. Is it worth the effort in Georgia? That's one of the things I just asked Attorney Brown. Some people would say to not get the certification because technically we cannot do loan signings, or we cannot participate in loan signings without an attorney. However, you also heard Ms. Attorney Brown just mention that she would like to be able to work with notaries who know the documents as it pertains to loan closing. So I think the loan signing certification is good for the education of it, to make you aware of what's out there should you come in contact with an attorney that wants to work with you. I particularly have it myself, even though I don't participate outside of the guidance of an attorney. But many of the signing platforms like to see that you have gone through some type of training, especially the NNA LSA certification. So it's just another form of investment in your business and in your services. So I personally, my opinion, I say it wouldn't hurt.
Okay. He said, thank you for clarifying. So he was still on the video.
Cool.
And I can answer this one. 1 second. John, Kel, I see your question, but to be honest with you, I do not understand what you're asking me right now. So if you want, you can always retype it and I can answer you later. I don't want you to think I'm ignoring your question, but Shantae Fraser, she said, can you please tell us the most common errors you see with notaries? Also, some things you recommend to watch out for when notarizing documents. Um, so our common errors you see with notaries. There, that is kind of a broad question. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's a lot of errors I see amongst notaries. The biggest thing is I want to say is a lot of notaries do not follow their state guidelines. People do tend to get into notary sign agent groups, join them, gather information to learn. But sometimes what people don't realize is what one person could do, another person can't do. So, as a prime example is in Georgia, it's an attorney state. They cannot advertise themselves as a loan signing agent. Correct, Samantha?
Correct.
Right. But in the other states, we can do that. I know here in Texas, I haven't seen no guidelines stating that we couldn't. So that's one of the most errors that I've seen is notaries not knowing their state laws and not following their state laws. And then
Mm-hmm.
also some things to watch out for notarizing documents. Um, to be honest, you always want to make sure, at least everything's filled out, the acknowledgments are correct, the date, the signer name is spelled correctly. There's a lot of things to look out for, to be honest with you. If they have to initial the forms, you want to make sure this form is filled out correctly. And that's pretty much it. You have anything, Samantha, about that?
Um, Kind of similar to what you just said. Going onto the notary groups and getting bits and pieces of information, and then going out and trying to kind of do this on the fly. One of the major mistakes is not investing in solid training. It's very important to get training on the documents, to get training on the procedures. Again, I can only speak for Georgia, but there are a lot of things that you can notarize as a Georgia notary, but you also need to be mindful of the things that you should not notarize as a Georgia notary. Another mistake is not going through the steps of a proper notarization. So if someone shows up with their documents already signed, you cannot notarize that because you did not witness the signature. Again, in my training, I've learned that our job is to witness or gather signatures and to deter fraud. And so when notaries just kind of pop up and say that they're going to go into business, the major mistake they make is not investing in training, or maybe not getting a mentor that can give them the guidelines on what, or assist them on getting the guidelines on what they need to do as a commissioned notary.
Absolutely. So last question, because we have 30 minutes and people don't watch the videos that long, but I'm going to answer Andrea McNair. When looking to work with the notary, with them having other positions like a bookkeeper will make you more confident in working with the notary. I want to tell you now, to be honest, it does not matter what positions you hold as far as what people want to work with you. Um, when you're in this notary business, it's all about who's available, who's dedicated, who knows how to market themselves, and who knows how to do the job. You could be a bookkeeper, you could be the president. That is not going to do anything for you. It doesn't matter about what position you in. Now, what you can do is with that position that you're in, you can use those skills that you learned in that position and you can apply it to your notary business and how you are as a notary signing agent. But to be honest, being a bookkeeper does not determine if people will work with you or not. Okay, so that is all the questions we have. Guys, thank you for everyone for watching. Sign and Seal with LaShawn and Samantha. We are going to make sure we bring a video to you every fourth Friday of the month at this time. If you have any topic ideas or anything that you would like to discuss that me and Samantha could discuss for you, make sure you submit it to the Notary. You can either submit it to the Notary Institution Facebook page, or you can go to Samantha. I will allow her to give her contact information.
Yes, thank you all for showing up to like our inaugural episode. This is really cool to be able to sit and talk with notaries across the state, across the nation, depending on who signed on with us today. We want to make sure that this is valuable information for you, and also stuff that you can go back and apply and quickly apply to your notary business. If you have any questions or just want to connect with us on a more of a business level, I can be reached on Facebook at She Listens Notary and Business Services. I'm also on Instagram at She Listens _mobile notary. Always open for collaboration ideas, topic ideas, project ideas, and just if you want to chop it up about your notary business. So we definitely appreciate your time on today. And as always, Ms. LaShawn, thank you for this platform and for the work that you're doing in the Notary Nation. And we're signing off. Thank y'all.
Y'all have a great day.